Hello and welcome to another interesting Snowflake store procedure topic. In this video, I'm going to cover what is variable binding and how to create a nested store procedures in Snowflake using try catch and error handling. This is a part 5 video of Snowflake store procedure series. If you haven't watched my previous videos, then I request you to please watch it once as I have covered many interesting Snowflake topics. For more latest videos and updates, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. For additional information and demo source code, please refer the video description section below. If you want to purchase some books on Snowflake, I have added a purchase link in the video description below. Alright, let's get started. This is our workflow that we are going to design today. First, we will call the main store procedure. So this square box is our main store procedure. We called it as a main underscore SP. Then we have this inner store procedure which is a nested store procedure. It's a ETL underscore one underscore SP. So we will call ETL underscore one underscore SP and log messages inside monitoring table. If failed, then we'll just simply exit from the main store procedure directly. So we have a try catch block uh, in this main store procedure, and inside this try block we write our ETL underscore one underscore SP code, and writing into the monitoring table is our logic. If this fails, then it goes to the catch block, and it simply, if there is any exception, it will simply exit from the main store procedure. Next, if our ETL underscore one underscore SP is successful, then we will execute the ETL underscore two underscore store procedure. So this ETL2 is depending on ETL1. So if the ETL1 is successful, then only we will execute the ETL2. Otherwise, we'll simply mark ETL1 as a failed and will exit from the main store procedure. So if we get the success from the ETL1 store procedure, then we execute the ETL2 store procedure. We again log one entry inside monitoring table, and then if it's successful, we will simply exit or return from the main store procedure. If we get any failure inside ETL underscore two underscore store procedure, then it will simply go to the catch block and will exit from that process directly. So let's look at the demo now for the nested store procedure and variable binding. Once you log into your Snowflake account, let's create our sample database for this tutorial. Let's also create this sample monitoring table. It has two columns. One is count, float data type, and message with varchar data type. Let's first create our sample ETL1 store procedure. Create ETL1 store procedure. So I have already prepared the script for you so that we can save some time. Let's copy this ETL1 store procedure logic. So here I am accepting two parameters. One is count and then next is message. This line prepares the insert statement so that we can insert record inside this monitoring table. I need to explicitly parse this count because when we do the concatenation with this string here, it will treat it as a string. For this, we need to explicitly convert again or parse that variable again into float and write this to fix, which is for precision. So if we have a 1 precision, then it's a 1. If we have 2 or 3 precision, you can change it to 2 or 3. But we again make sure you have written this inside the bracket, and after that you write this to fix. And next, for next column, we are just simply passing that message. Make sure you added these quotes, single quotes. Next, we just execute this statement, insert statement, and will return ETL1 success. So this is a very simple ETL1 store procedure. Let's execute and create this store procedure. Let's create this store procedure. Now that our first store procedure is created, let's create our second store procedure as well. So we'll name it ETL2SP, and this is a code for it. So it's the same logic, and we have just changed this return statement message, which is ETL2 executed. And also we will increment the value here. So as you can see, in ETL1 we haven't increment. Here in ETL2 we will simply increment our that count value, and rest of the logic is same again. We'll execute this insert statement, and then we'll return ETL2 executed. So let's create this ETL2 store procedure. Let's verify our database and monitoring table. As we can see, we don't have any records. Now let's create our main store procedure. So this is a logic for that main store procedure. It's a quite bit long logic. So let me explain you what is happening here. First, we declare this main store procedure. It accepts two parameters, count and message. Next, we prepare or create this statement to call our ETL1 store procedure. And here this colon 1 and colon 2 is it's where we are passing that argument as a parameter, and this is the variables that we are binding to this store procedure call. So this is how variable binding is used in Snowflake store procedure. Basically we just bind the variables when we call this store procedure. Next, we execute this store procedure inside this try block. So this is a variable declaration. So we'll just save this ETL1 output into this variable. Next, if there is any error while executing this ETL1 store procedure, we'll simply return the error and go to this catch block, and we'll exit from the main process. If we don't have any error or exception, we'll check what is the output of our first store procedure. If it match with this return, as we can see, this is our first store procedure ETL, and it is returning ETL1 success when it will successfully return the message as a success. Next, if we get that return message and if we match the message, then we'll simply create the statement for our ETL2 store procedure. We'll again pass those same two colon 1 and colon 2 as an argument. Then we bind two variables, count, and we binding the ETL1 underscore output. So whatever output we are getting from ETL1, that we are passing to that ETL2. Next, we'll just simply execute that ETL2 statement. That is, we will just simply call this ETL2 store procedure. We are also storing that output of ETL2 store procedure into this variable ETL underscore 2 underscore OP. Once this store procedure executed successfully, we'll simply return the final SP and return this message. If we get any exception, we'll simply return from this catch block, and it will just simply return the ETL2 failed and the error message. If nothing is wrong, then we should be able to see the messages inside the monitoring table. Otherwise, it will simply return this something wrong in second store procedure. Let's execute our main store procedure. Let's create it and let's see what is happening. So I'll just simply call that store procedure now. I'm passing these two variables. One is 1.0 and next message as executing. So let's run this. As we can see, it has returned final SP ETL2 executed. So let's go back to our code. So this is a message it has written. That means our ETL2 has successfully executed and also our ETL1 is also executed. So let's verify it in this monitoring table. As we can see in this monitoring table, we have two records. One is count. So this is a message from ETL1, like executing ETL1 SP. And then in ETL2, as we can see, we are incrementing the value. So that's why it's 2. And we are returning the message ETL1 success. Because here in ETL1, that's the response we get from ETL1 and that we pass as a parameter to ETL2. So that's why this is ETL1 success message is coming. Next, let's just clean up our activity. So that's it. Thanks for watching and don't forget to subscribe to my channel.